Job 1, uh, probably lived around Abraham's time, 2100 BC to 1900, because of his wealth measured by all the flocks he had, thousands of animals, all kinds. And his lifespan 200 up to 900. Before 200, God said that good man lived that long. And also he offers sacrifices, which it wasn't allowed in the Moses time, only the priests. So it says here, I need to glean at the beginning. He lived in the land of Uz. He had all these animals. I mentioned thousands, all kinds. His sons will have all these parties, invite everybody, right? And he worried about them sitting in all kinds of ways. So he offers sacrifices, as I just said. This was Jacob's custom. One day in heaven, the angels came before God and presented themselves to present themselves. I guess only God allows them, and Satan was among them, the adversary, fallen angel. And God allowed it, whatever. And then Satan answered the Lord, from roaming through the whole earth. That's because God asked him where he came from. The Lord said, have you seen I need to skim here about my good servant Job. He is blameless and he shuns evil. But then Satan, verse 9 says, does Job fear God for nothing? Satan replied, have you not put a hedge around him and his household and everything he has? You have blessed the work of his hands, so that his flocks, his herds are spread throughout the land. But stretch out your hand and strike everything he has, and he'll surely curse you to your face. The Lord said to Satan, very well, then everything he has is in your hands, but on the man himself, Job, do not lay a finger. Then Satan went out from the Lord's presence one day when Job's sons and daughters were feasting and drinking wine at the oldest brother's house. A messenger came to Job and said, the oxen were plowing and the donkeys were grazing nearby, and the Sabeans came and carried them off. They put the servants to the sword, and I am the only one who escaped to tell you. While he was still speaking, another messenger came. The fire of God fell from the sky and burned up the sheep and the servants, and I am the only one to tell you that escaped. Verse 17, while he was still speaking, yet another messenger came, said the Chaldeans formed 3 raiding parties and swept down all your camels and carried them off. Then your servants to the sword they killed, and I'm the only one that escaped to tell you. 18, when he still was speaking, yet another messenger came and said, your sons and daughters were feasting and drinking in your brother's house, when suddenly a mighty wind swept in from the desert and struck the 4 corners of the house. It collapsed on them, and they were all dead, and I am the only one to escape to tell you. At this, Job went up and tore his robe and shaved his head. And then he fell to the ground in worship and turn the page. And naked, he said, naked I came from the mother's womb, and naked I will depart. The Lord gave me all this, and that's taken away. May the name of the Lord be praised. He still said that. In all this, Job did not sin against charging God with any wrongdoing. Okay, it shows you, and this is written too for us today, everything he went through and how good it was, and for us to do the same. But in the end, God blessed it with everything back again, but this is a long book. Okay, so that's Job chapter 1. Please like and subscribe. Thank you. Bye.